What's up with inductions? It seems to me that there's an obsession with getting babies out of their mama's bellies before something terrible happens. Fair enough, don't get me wrong, I don't want anything terrible to happen either. But what happened to trusting the process? What happened to letting women's bodies and their babies determine when labor should start? There's often been concern about the increased risk of stillbirth, and I don't want stillbirth any more than they do. But what we're forgetting, or maybe you're not realizing if you aren't a birth nerd and it hasn't been explained to you, is that while the relative risk of stillbirth increases with every week of gestation, the absolute risk is still very low. In other words, the chances of baby being born still at 41 weeks is still very low, even if it is slightly higher than at 40. The same goes for 42 weeks versus 41. Never mind that, though. It seems like so many women are being induced at 39 weeks or being encouraged to schedule a cesarean section before labor even starts. There may be very valid reasons for some of these procedures. I won't say that it's never appropriate, but by and large, there are way too many inductions and cesareans. Plus, they go on about the risks of waiting, but they fairly skip over the risks associated with induction or cesarean birth. I won't go into the details of why spontaneous labor is good. I'm not a researcher, and I do encourage you to do your homework. But please trust me when I say that the process of labor is so tremendously beneficial for both baby and mom. Even if things go sour and they end up needing surgical intervention for some valid reason, laboring in itself has huge benefits. And by the way, induced labor is way different and is processed way differently by a woman's body than going into labor spontaneously. Then there's the whole question of due dates, how those are calculated, how accurate or inaccurate they are for each individual woman's body. Short story long, except in occasional extenuating circumstances, spontaneous labor is the way to go, full stop. If you think so too, and you want support to achieve this ideal, reach out and grab yourself a doula today.